So first of all, we're going to read Yisro. First of all, I'm going to ask you some questions on last week's Parsha to make sure you're a Parsha expert. That's what it says, okay? On Parshas Beshalach. Now, I know we went over some of it, but we're going to go over all of it. But nonetheless, first of all, we're going to read just a poem about Parshas Beshalach, and then we're going to go to the questions. And the poem is about how marvelously Hashem cared for Bnei Yisrael in the desert. So you saw that you're looking that way, but did Hashem care for Klal Yisrael in the desert? Right. When Paro's army drowned in the sea, Bnei Yisrael were finally free of the cruel Egyptian tyranny. All of them enthusiastically sang Shira, a prophetic song. Even the children sang along. In the desert, Hashem fed Bnei Yisrael man, the best of dishes. It was them wise and tasted delicious. It made them wise and tasted delicious. Besides man, they received two other treats. Savory slop birds provided meat, and the well of Miriam supplied drinks, tasty and sweet. Because Hashem took care of the Jews with so many miracles, Nisim, they all rejoiced and were grateful to Him. Afterwards, they were willingly accepted His Torah, as we will see in the next parsha. Okay, that's the end of the poem. Now we go to the questions at the end. And we go to question number 1. Yisrael Zev is going to answer first, and then we go to Dovi. Okay.
Which way did Hashem lead the Jews to Eretz Yisrael?
Which way did Hashem lead the Jews to Eretz Yisrael? A, says if you're listening, A, through the land of the Plishtim. B, around the land of the Plishtim. Or C, around the Yam Suf.
In the land of the
Okay, so Yisrael Zev says through the land of the Plishtim. Now, I have a question for Yisrael Zev.
No, I want to
Fine.
say
Okay,
my
go.
answer. B.
Yeah.
Around.
B.
No. Yeah. B.
Oh, maybe.
B. Around the land.
Okay, B. You say around the land of the Plishtim. Okay, so now Yisrael Zev, here's my shayla to you. Okay, we have these people called the Plishtim, right? Now let's say you are the king of the Plishtim. Okay, pretend you're the king. You have a crown on your head, and where are you sitting?
In my throne.
On your throne, and you're in the Plishtim. Now all of a sudden, there's millions of people that just start marching through your land, and you've never seen them before. You don't know who they are. So what would you do?
I don't know.
So the king would wage a war. So now it could be Hashem took him through the land of Plishtim, but if Hashem did that, I would want to know, isn't that dangerous for Klal Yisrael? Because the Plishtim are going to fight a war against Klal Yisrael. Wouldn't it be much smarter to take them around the land of the Plishtim?
Yeah.
Right. So
Like the Plishtim are here, and then we are here. I think
right.
There.
So I think, even though I did not look up the answer, I think the answer is around the Plishtim, because the third thing is around the Yam Suf, and we know for sure they went through the Yam Suf. So it for sure is not C, and I would say it's for sure not A, because they can't go through the land of the Plishtim.
They never did.
Okay, so now we're going to look it up. So you saw that, do you say around the land of the Plishtim or through the land of the Plishtim? Around. Okay, so now we're going to look it up. Parshas Beshalach. We're going to go over here to A. Beshalach.
Help, you just passed Beshalach.
I know, but this is the wrong. That's the wrong Beshalach. Have to go in. Oh, here. Beshalach. The answer is B, which is around the land of the Plishtim. Okay, next. What did the woman sing at Kriyas Yam Suf?
I know.
1 second, though. A, their own song. B, the same song as the men. C, they only played drums and danced. They did not sing. So, is it A? Wait, you say B, the same song as the men. You say they only play...
Shiva. They sing Shiva.
So that means they sing the same song as the men.
Yeah. Men. That's B. But there's two madrashim. There's one madrash that says...
The answer is B, the same song as the men.
Oh, they didn't sing though, Abba. Well, there's two madrashim. There's a madrash that the Messiah is actually No.
Okay, so Dovi tell. First of all, I think we should maybe move over. I don't know. So they. So Dovi's telling us that his Rebbe said that. His Rebbe said that some say the woman sang and some say the woman did not sing.
Some say that the woman. But I have a question. My Rebbe said that the woman didn't get out drums, but they did sing Shira.
Your Rebbe said that they had drums and they sang Shira?
Yeah.
Okay, so
He said that there's one shop that's what you over here that's B, and there's one shop that over here it's C.
Alright, so Dovi's telling us that his Rebbe said that there's two different opinions. I have no idea, but we know that the Little Medrash tells us the answer is B, but it could very well be that Dovi is right as well.
There's that there's a sheet that says that the girl stands and plays drums as the same tune, as they played the same tune.
And did they sing or no?
No.
So you're saying one? You said one sheet that says they sing and one sheet that says they didn't sing?
And the reason why they didn't, the sheet that says that they didn't sing, the reason why is because men can't hear women sing.
Right, okay, fine. So Dovi's Rebbe apparently said there's two different shitas. Fine. Next question. If we had like Louis, maybe we could look it up. I don't know. Or even, okay, anyways, next question. How did the bitter water turn sweet in Mara? A, Moshe hit it with a stick. B, Moshe threw a stick into it. C, Moshe threw salt into it. Or D, Moshe poured vanilla ice cream into it. So again,
I say that he threw wood into it.
Okay, Moshe threw.
There was one that he threw a tree, and there was one that he just threw a log from a tree, or just like wood.
You're saying there's two different shitas. One says he threw a tree, and one says he threw wood.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. And fine. He says he threw a stick. Now he said, who said there's two different shitas? Your Rebbe said that?
Yeah.
He said some. One time. So some say a tree and some say wood, and I said that too. Okay.
You said that some say different things. Like you said, like fruits and vegetables. That's what he said.
Okay, fine. So I said that too. Okay. So yeah, I don't even think we have to look it up. Fine. Next one. What else happened in Mara? A, Amalek attacked. B, the Bnei Yisrael learned some mitzvahs. C, Hashem gave the Jews man. And I'm thinking right now that the answer might be more than one, but I don't know.
This week, there's two stuff so confusing. That they did get one, but they did fight with Amalek.
Alright, so you're saying they got the man and they also fought against the Amalek in this week's Parsha? Did both of those things happen in Mara?
Yeah, but they didn't really win the war because Moshe just needed to just keep his hands up and then they'll just win. And Moshe didn't do that, so they did win the war.
So you're saying Moshe, when he lifted his hands up, then they would win, but so did he lift his hands up or not?
Yeah, he did but he had to put them down and then put his hands up for a long time. So, Yoshua Banana and another person just put a stone that he pulled his hands up.
Oh, someone held his hands up?
Yeah, two people.
Okay, fine. Okay, so fine. Okay, good. What else happened in Mara? A, Amalek attacked. B, Bnei Yisrael learned some mitzvos. And C, Hashem gave the Jews man.
I B and C. That's what I said.
I also think B and C.
You're checking it.
Okay, fine. Let me look it up.
I think maybe A2. A, B, and C.
Well, it says it's just B. Bnei Yisrael learned some mitzvahs.
Oh, right. They didn't get
Which in the other thing we said survival techniques, but it's really mitzvahs.
Well, that's
Oh, fine. So they got the man, I guess, right afterwards. Okay, next. What color was the man? A, white. B, gray. C, brown.
C. B and A and B. Two colors.
You say it was both. 1 second.
A or B. A or B.
Wait, I think it was white. Okay. Fine, let's see. It's white. A.
I knew it was A or B.
What food did Bnei Yisrael get in the evening? A. Mun. B. Slav birds. C. Both.
I know.
What?
Mon.
Okay, Joey, what do you say? Joey, what do you say? 1 second. Did they get mun in the evening or the morning? Okay, the question over here is what food did Bnei Yisrael get in the evening?
B, I guess.
Slav birds.
No. B, C.
C means both.
So did they get both?
They didn't get mun in the evening. They got mun in the morning. So, is the answer
C.
Is the answer Slav birds? I say B. Slav birds.
I never even...
Yes, the answer is B.
That's what I said.
Okay, so you said something. What did they eat? What did they eat in the evening?
Slav birds.
Right. Okay. Next, what happened with the man on Shabbos? A. No man fell. B. Man fell, but Bnei Yisrael were not allowed to collect it. C. Some man fell to test Bnei Yisrael whether or not they would collect it.
I don't know any answers. I say A. I say B.
So you say man fell, but Bnei Yisrael were not allowed to collect it. All right. The answer is A. No man fell.
And then,
Right. They put man out to trick people.
So they could trick. Yeah, but the foods took them.
Right. Okay, Amalek was a descendant of A. Canaan, B. Amalek, C. Esau. Okay.
Amalek is since the foods ate the man, this Shabbos we go and feed the foods.
Right. Okay, very good. Since the birds ate the man.
That's only one reason. There's another reason. What was the stuff? A was what? B was what? C was what? What D was what?
What?
What was A? What was B? What was C?
Wait. This has nothing to do with the birds. The question is, Amalek was a descendant, meaning who was his father's father? Who was his great-great-gramps? Was it A. Canaan, B. Amalek, or C. Esau?
Esau.
Okay, well, I say it was Esau, but it also must have been Amalek too.
And also has to be Canaan because Canaan, I think Esau was a descendant from Canaan was a descendant. No, it wasn't.
I don't think it was Canaan.
It's not Canaan
because... the answer is Esau.
I knew it!
So he was not a descendant of him. There was a person named Amalek, but he wasn't a descendant of Amalek. Okay, next. Oh, because fine. The question is, Amalek can't be a descendant of himself. So he was a descendant of Esau. Who of these went to the top of the hill to daven during the battle against Amalek? A. Moshe, B. Yoshua, C. Hor, or D. Shani Pike? I don't see Shani Pike in here, but that's part of my question. A. Moshe, B. Yoshua, C. Hor. So for sure, Moshe, who held Moshe's hands?
Yoshua and Kor.
Right, so it should be all three, right? Should it be all three?
A, B, and C. What about C?
Well, the answer is just A and C. I don't know.
Yoshua also went.
Oh, okay. The question is, who of these went to the top of the hill to daven during the battle against Amalek? So maybe he just went to hold the hands. Maybe he never actually davened. Okay, and here's the final question. We're actually going to have one more, but what was the outcome of the war against Amalek? A. Amalek won. B. Amalek was completely destroyed. C. Amalek was defeated. Which means Bnei Israel won.
I say two stuff.
What?
I say B and C. I say just C.
Right, C.
Because
Now here's the problem of the week. Why, which Dovi tends to ask these questions, or why did Hashem cause Moshe's hands to become heavy during the battle against Amalek? That's the question.
So
Why did-
Yoshua and Kor could be smart enough to do.
There's 4 answers.
Here, I already said an answer.
Fine, answer 1 comes from Rabbeinu Avraham ben Harambam. Whenever Moshe did not fully concentrate on his tefillos, why did Hashem cause Moshe's hands to become heavy during the battle against Amalek?
When you said the first part, I know.
Okay, yeah, go.
They can win the war. Here, you started.
1 second, though. Moshe's hands became heavy. That means he has to put the hands down, right? In order to win the war, does he have to put the hands down or up? Up. So if his hands are heavy, they go down. So you're saying, okay, the question again. Why did Hashem cause Moshe's hands to become heavy during the battle against Amalek?
Get started and I'll finish it.
So he said, what do you say? I'm thinking like that. Okay, Dovi, what do you say?
Here, if you start the answer, I'll finish it.
I don't know. I think that might be a good answer.
That's what I said.
Look,
first.
I also got a ticket.
That's what I said first.
Wait.
Here, I get 3 tickets.
Do I get wait? Did I get a ticket or no?
No. Then why just told me got 2 tickets?
No, I don't know. I think I got a ticket. Okay, anyways, I don't know. Maybe both of you got 2 tickets. Okay, fine. Here's the question. Fine, let's start. Whenever Moshe did not fully concentrate on his tefillos, his arms weakened. Next, Moshe was punished for sending Yeshua out to battle rather than leading the war himself. Even though Moshe had important reasons for doing so, his arms became unsteady because he had passed on the mitzvah to someone else. Next answer. Hashem punished the Jews midah keneged midah. They had weakened in Torah and mitzvahs and refidim, and therefore Moshe's arms became weak. Hello, mister. Next answer. Hashem caused Moshe's hands to be weak to point out to Bnei Yisrael that they really did not deserve to overcome Amalek, since they had sinned by complaining about the lack of water in refidim. Only when Moshe davened, Hashem considered the merits of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov and let Bnei Yisrael win. Okay, so even though I agree with Yisrael Zev, I like Yisrael Zev's answer. That let's put it like this.
You also like my answer because that's what I said first.
Okay, fine. But none of these answers is that answer. But I want to explain that answer. That if a person's hands are not heavy, they have no reason to pick them up. Right?
I have another answer. That's just how the life works. It's another reason. It's just how life works. When you're holding your hands up for too long, it just falls down. It's just the cycle of the world.
So I want to. He still have. Do you have to go to the bathroom? No. Okay. So sit in the chair. And okay, if someone's hands, Hashem wanted Moshe to lift up his hands. But maybe let's say Hashem didn't tell him to lift his hands.
Just like when I lift up my hands and two people just hold them up.
So here's if your hands are not heavy, there's no reason to lift them up. It's just like fine. If your hands are heavy, then it's like, oh, I better lift them up. They're too heavy. So now people have to come to lift them up. So now they're up. So the only way to get your hands up is to make them very heavy, and you can't lift them up. So you have to get people to lift them. Once they're coming to pick them up, they pick them all the way up. Okay. So that's what I think. But none of those were the answer here. We'll have to figure out why.
Another answer, but
all of these things say it has to do with a punishment. Meaning Moshe's hand should not have been heavy, but he wasn't concentrating on his tefillah, so his arms became weakened. Or he was punished for sending Yeshua out to battle rather than leading the war himself. Or Hashem was punishing the Jews. Or because they didn't even, Klal Yisrael had no schusim to overcome. Okay, now.
And then there's two more Tourette's. There's one Tourette's that saw
So the microphone's right there. See the picture of the microphone?
Yeah.
That is the microphone. If it's still going. So you could say your two more.
There's one that I thought of, which both of them I thought of, but one of them saw Avos. The first one that I would say is that's just how life works. When you're holding your hands up for too long, they just fall down.
All right.
That's
now we're just going to read quickly Shishi and Shvi. We read Chamishi. So we read Chamishi, one second. We read Chamishi Wednesday night, right? We're just going to read Shishi and Shvi, which talks about the Mon and a Molek. And that's kind of what we spoke about here. Hashem spoke to Moshe. Listen, okay? I've heard the complaints of the Klal Yisrael.
I heard the complaints of Yisrael.
Speak to them and say in the afternoon you will eat meat. So one second. One second, forget about the raffle. Okay, when did they eat meat? What did I just say? He said, go. It said, in the afternoon you will eat meat. So when are they going to eat meat?
At lunch.
He says that when are they eating meat?
At lunch.
What did I just say?
They'll have meat for lunch.
Okay, in the afternoon you will eat meat, and in the morning you will have your fill of bread.
This was their schedule. In the morning, for breakfast, they would have mun. In the afternoon, for lunch, they would have meat.
Right, but only one time. That evening, a flock of quail came and covered the camp. This is the Slav bird, okay? It's called quail over here. And here's a picture of it, okay? This is what they ate. This stuff, Klal Yisrael complained, and Hashem was angry that they complained. So Hashem gave them meat. And the punishment is that they're going to eat meat in the evening, right before they go to bed. Well, it's in the afternoon, but yeah.
I thought meat was a tongue from a cow.
That's also meat. So Hashem is listening to them, but He's punishing them as well.
That's a Slav boy.
I don't know if Mommy it makes us. Here it says the Slav year.
Mommy doesn't make the tongue of a cow meat.
Fine, right. Fine, I don't know. Saptalos thinks the tongue of a cow. Nadovi likes names of animals, so this is, some say, was identified as Teturnix externix. So you like the cobra snake. The Slav here is usually identified with Teturnix externix, which is the smallest member of the quail family, which is particularly abundant in the Red Sea area during the migratory season. They come up in immense numbers from Arabia. I don't know, probably, and the other countries. Unlike the Mon, the quails were only available this one time. So they only came once. And so quail came and covered the camp. Then in the morning... The camp, yeah. You think it was Camp Gishmak?
Yeah.
No, it was just covered the area, okay? Then in the morning, there was a layer of dew around the camp. When the layer of dew evaporated, there were little grains all over the surface of the desert. It looked like fine frost on the ground. Klal Yisrael looked at it and had no idea what it was. So they called it mun, as mun means what is it? That it was the name of the thing. Like who's on first? What's it? So Moshe said to them, "This is the bread that Hashem is giving you to eat. Hashem's instructions are that each man should take as much as he needs. There shall be an omer for each person."
Bread on his plate, you say one.
Yeah. According to the number of people each man has in his tent. When Klal Yisrael wanted to do this, some gathered more, some less. But when they measured it with an omer, the one who had taken more, what did he? If he took more, did he have more? He put more in his basket. So then he went into the house. Did he have more than the one who only put a little bit in his basket? He says, what? Who had more? But let's say one guy was putting mun in his basket for 30 minutes. The other guy only spent 1 minute putting mun in his basket. They come back, who had more mun? One of them filled the basket up all the way. The other one only filled it up a little bit. When they came back into their house, they looked into their baskets, and who had, what did it look like?
I know the answer. The answer is that the ones that had more, it came out the perfect amount. The one that had less came out the perfect amount.
Right. Each one had exactly one omer, no matter what. For an omer per person of his family, no matter what. When Klal Yisrael went to do this, some gathered more and some less. But when they measured it with an omer, the one who had taken more did not have any extra. Now, here's the thing, though, and this applies to us nowadays. But what it's telling us is like this: a lot of people do different things to make money, right? Gramps, what did Gramps do to make money? He owned a vending company. So, do you ever see soda? So it's saying like this: a lot of people work very, very hard. Some people work only a little bit. But as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, Hashem will make it come out exactly the same, no matter what.
If you're working for only 1 hour instead of you didn't work very hard.
No, it's not like that. Actually, each job requires a certain amount of work, but if you have a business, so it really applies by a business. Let's say a person's selling jewelry, okay? And so the normal business hours in America is to work 8 hours from 9 to 5. This guy decides, you know what, I want to make more money. I'm going to work from 9 to 9, okay? So we're told that he might not end up with more money by the end of the year. It could be all of a sudden there'll be bills that will come up. All of a sudden there'll be a plumbing problem. He'll have to give all the money he made from 5 to 9 to the plumber. So he ends up with only the money he made from 9 to 5. Now, a lot of other jobs, though, like the jobs I've had, I'm not really in charge of my hours. They tell me these are the hours you have to work. So I don't know how to do with that. But anyways, but the amount of money that a person makes is decreed on Rosh Hashanah. And so this is very similar. What's happening here is Hashem's teaching Klal Yisrael Emunah for all times. This is the message of Emunah for all times. Hashem is saying, I'm proving to you that I run the world. That's what Hashem's saying. And that I give you food. Nothing else gives you food. It's not it's not the money that gives you food. It's not if a plumber is plumbing and he gets money. It might look like that. So, but it really isn't. Okay. Now, how do you know? How do you know? Because there's a story in the Gemara, and I don't remember the exact name, but basically, I think it was one of the Amoraim. He said, you know what? It's not really me who makes the money. So it's really Hashem. So you know what? I'm not going to do anything. But he said, I have emunah bidachon that Hashem will give us money. Hashem will give us food. Okay. So day 1 went by and they had no food.
All right, I remember.
He says, are you listening? Day 1 went by, they had no food.
They had like tons of. Once they had like.
Oh wait, okay. Day 2 went by. They had no food at all. Okay, so his wife said to him like, I don't know what his name was. Let's say his name was Shimmy. I don't think that was his name. It's probably Moreno Rabbeinu or whatever. But okay, Shimmy, yeah. Okay, fine. Just Moshe, okay? He said, I don't know about Moshe Bain. I don't know what that is. All right, she said, we don't have any food. What are you going to do? He said, I don't know. For some reason, Hashem decided to stop giving us food. Right? And then she said, what do you mean for some reason? You stopped working, so we stopped getting food. Don't tell me for some reason. And he said, no, I used to work, but it just looked like when I worked we got food. It wasn't really my work, it was Hashem. So then she thought that was just ridiculous. But anyways, so they were like starving mamish. But on the third day, horses came rolling into their backyard full of carriages of food. So she saw it really was Hashem. And if he doesn't work, Hashem will have another way of paying. Really, Ephraim Waxman always says the following story. He says, imagine you have a king, okay? You have a king. He owns everything. He's the wealthiest person in the world. And therefore, his children, the prince doesn't need to work, okay? Because the prince also has tons of money. He gets it from the king. He lives in the palace. Okay, so let's say, though, you go out and you see the prince. He's a garbage collector every day. He's collecting garbage. He's in that garbage truck. He comes on the alley. That's what he does. He drives the garbage truck. And then you ask him, what do you do for a living? He says, I'm a garbage man. Okay. So here's the thing. The question is he a garbage man in order to make money and to get food? So we know the answer is no, because he already has money. So we don't really know why he's a garbage man. But one thing we could say, he's not, we don't know why he's a garbage man. We don't really know. But it's not in order to get food and money. So he said, so too, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, same with us. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is our king and we are his children. Hashem can give us everything in the world. When someone's a doctor and you say, what do you do? They say they're a doctor. They think, okay, wait, let me just finish. They think,
garbage man doesn't need money, he only needs garbage.
Okay, fine.
That's why it's called the garbage man.
Okay, fine. You think he only needs garbage? Fine. But in any case, okay, fine. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's what he's doing. But also, when we think that Hashem makes it seems so clear that we are making the money. If when Gramps had a soda machine, and then Bob would go and purchase a soda, he puts quarters into the machine, the soda comes out, and then Gramps goes and he collects the money from the machine. So let's say someone would say, you can't collect the money from the machine, it's Shabbos, it's Shkia, you can't do it anymore, okay? And then, well, he'll collect it later. But basically, even if for whatever reason, basically the Torah comes first, because that stuff has to be put on pause, because it's really not us doing it anyways. It's just
story that we learned where there's, it's like a similar story, but it ends off different. It's like, so it starts off like so it starts off like the last story you said about with the wagons that were coming, but that didn't happen in this one. And then the story, they had a few children, and then they still didn't have any food. So and then a few days passed, and then she was pregnant for another child. So eventually they had a bunch of children, and then they had no food. And then one day, they got a package in the mail, and then the father's friend, he knew a lot about mail, and then he called him up, and then he said he doesn't know, and then so he went to the place that said to go to, and then they were waiting in line, and then finally there was someone that said that someone passed away with no children, and he had tons and tons of money. So he got all that money.
Okay, well, so you see that Hashem has a lot of ways of getting a person money. So if that's the case, why does Hashem make it that we have to work? So the reason we have to work, it was a kenas put on Adam Arishon, because if we don't work, we're going to end up getting in trouble. We're going to end up doing averos. So we work, and we try to make our profession, whatever we do when we work, we try to make it something that we enjoy. Learning Torah is also working. In fact, it's if you're able. The Mishnah actually says if you learn Torah and you do work, it causes the avera to be forgotten, which implies that if you only do one, the Yitzhara might still get you. But in any case, all of this is learned out from this week's parsha from the Mon, because Hashem is showing people for all time that He runs everything. So it said like this: when Klal Yisrael went to do this, some gathered more, some less. But when they measured it with an omer, the one who had taken more did not have any extra, and the one who had taken less did not have too little. They had gathered exactly enough for each one to eat. Moshe announced to them, "Let no man leave any over until morning." Okay, this is the story now.